Hi everyone, it's Shelley Johns here and Ross Henderson from Bruloo in Queensland. And we're going to be helping host the call tonight, which is going to have a real recruiting focus. But I thought what we would do to start with is that we're going to share our good news for the week. So if you've been to an event, you've got some great news to share. So I'll start off. On Saturday, we had our kickoff in Gympie at the Gympie Lifestyle Centre. And it was fantastic. We had Jennifer de Brabander as our special guest, and Jan McMahon came, and we also had Irene Hofstetter. So it was a really special training because we had, I think it would be 60, 70, 80, 90, like 120 years experience just for those four people, which was really cool. And they just had so much great information to share. So I think it was a really special event. And I think the people that came along got a lot of value out of it and gave them a lot of confidence as well. So thank you very much, Jennifer, for coming. So I just thought I would ask Jennifer if she'd like to share. So hang on 2 seconds. Find you, Jennifer. So I'm just going to unmute you. So would you like to share about the event on Saturday?
Yeah, it was great. We had a great time on Saturday, but what was really fantastic was that there were a couple of other people there, and one couple in particular said they had never seen a retail training like that. Between Irene and Jan, there was about 60 years of absolute, amazing retail experience, the amount of customers they had. So in this really great environment, they were able to sit down and share so much homey stuff, the stuff that they don't have a chance to share at the STS. And, the guys were just really impressed with that. So all I could suggest is when you do have, your own little venues that, you're doing things away from the STS, you can actually give people more detail about, what they say to their customers, how they treat their customers, and the actual knowledge that Jan and Irene have got about the products that they can share that you don't always get, at the STS. It was a great day, and I have to admit it suits Jan and I and Irene fine because it's so much like what we used to do and have great success with.
Definitely, yeah, that old school back to basics, which I really like, that format with the HOM or Herbalife Opportunity Meeting, sorry, Jan. Then the marketing plan, then the product training, which is what we were always taught, which seems to happen a little bit in reverse sometimes. But I think it's clever because if someone's exposed to the marketing plan that's actually interested in finding out the products, it exposes them to the income opportunity. So I think it's really clever, that actual format. And it's quite amazing that Jan and Irene had actually never done a training before in all the time that you've known each other. So
no, not together, no.
So did you want to give some feedback, Jan, on that?
Yeah, it was pretty special because having not a format from Herbalife sort of thing, we were able to sort of cover things that we don't normally cover at the STS. And obviously, we've got to always say not typical, that sort of thing all the way through. But I think being able to sort of share those basics, particularly the 90% opinion, 10% back and labelling laws, that help people realise how important that section is for you to know it, but also when you've got new people to teach it immediately, because it makes that new person that much stronger because everything's covered under those facts of the company. Yeah. So, yeah, it was a great day. Had a lot of fun. I love coming up to Gympie.
Yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And it was interesting because we did a business presentation this afternoon, like we brought the girls with us, and you actually used those facts. So, which was really good, wasn't it?
It was fantastic. Yeah,
so, yeah. It was a very organic day, I thought too, so that everyone it was shared very nicely throughout the day. So thank you very much, everyone, for supporting it. Mike, did you want to share what you got out of the day? I know that you attended on Saturday. Oops, I can't see. Yeah. Mike, did you want to share about the event on Saturday?
Have you got me unmuted?
Yes, yep. I got everyone to mute themselves, so yep.
Yeah. No, it was a really good day. I got a lot out of what the marketing plan, the way the Ross did it. I thought that was quite simple, quite good, quite effective. Also listening to the experience of Jan and Irene, Jennifer, it's just the little nuggets that you get out of it that are that make the day worthwhile. So yeah, no, it was a great day all around.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. And I'd love anyone that's got a new retail client or who's I actually don't do recruiting because we're going to do recruiting. So anyone that maybe got a new retail client this week, if you'd like to share, if you come up and share as well, I'm happy for you to do that. So does anyone would like to share that?
Yeah, Shelley, Jennifer.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got one of Gary's relatives on the products. He's been disclaimer. He's actually been suffering a lot of skin cancers and stuff, and I constantly talk to him about how's the latest one going, etc. So he's a bit nervous because his mum passed with cancer. So we're not talking about that. I'm just painting the picture. So he's just really, wants to be healthy, wants to make sure he's really healthy. So we're just sending him off with a whole load of product. He loves to hydrate, and he and his wife are starting to do a lot of walking, etc. He's got, probably, 40 kilos or so to lose. So, yeah, somebody new to get going again. And, they do know the products. They've used them before, but getting started again.
Excellent. Yeah, well, it's interesting after that training. So when did we finish up? I think we got back after 4, was it? After 4 o'clock. And I was kind of thinking, I haven't had many retails this month. It's already the 7th. And then all of a sudden I had 3 people contact me. An old VIP member contacted me about getting started back on some of the nutrition, and she's having a few health issues. And then another VIP client in the Mary Valley, she came around straight away and picked up a herbal tea, and then she posted about it, even though it looked like she was drinking beer because she puts it in sparkling water and it had a frothy top, so it looked just like a glass of beer, but it was instant herbal beverage in the sparkling water. And then I got a repeat client who she's ordered an Ultimate program plus an extra Formula 1 and a joint support, so that was really great too. And she's actually up and visiting in Butterham, so I think I'll get to meet her soon, which is really great to finally meet her in person. So that was really cool. That was all just in one afternoon. So it's amazing what can happen, especially when you put that intention out there. So now, was there anyone else that wanted to share how they got a client in the last 7 days?
Yeah, Shelley, it's Jan here. When I got home, there was a message on my answer machine from a lady called Zuka. She's a Lebanese lady, and I've known her for 28 years. She's been on and off the products all that time, and some of her family have been on the products as well. Why she doesn't start on, I'll never know. But every now and then she'll ring me up and say, "Oh, Jan, I've got to get back on the product." So I've got to ring her tonight after this call and get her back on some products, because I think it was just before Christmas that she got some. Wouldn't stay on it, all this time. But that's Zuka. That's the way she is. But every time she will ring me back, all the time. So, that's why if you build that relationship with people, it's so important. But she's such a lovely lady. But 28 years. Yeah,
that's amazing. And like you said, they won't go anywhere else. They'll always come back to you. And I think you're always going to get people that will order every single month like we do, that we want to stay on the products constantly. You're going to get people that come every few months, some people that just order one product. I've got people that just do that. And some people when you might hear from once or twice a year, and then I usually get the ones that do the big bulk order a couple of times a year. And either way is fine. It doesn't matter as long as it suits them. But obviously consistency gets the best results possible. So, but you're going to have customers fit in all those different formats, so which is really cool.
Hey, Shelley, I just want to say, it's a small world. I had one of your customers carpet clean for me today.
Okay.
Jerry came around and did some carpet cleaning for me. So I thought that is a small world. I mean, and so he's your lifeline customer. You've had him on other things too, What do you usually put him on?
Yeah, he's the worst customer ever. He's my ex-boyfriend, but a good family friend now. He's kind of Uncle Jerry. But yeah, he just never listens. He drives me nuts. But he's very loyal, and he is interested. Like, he's interested in health, and I think he'll just kind of dabble in it and that. But he's also got some really good contacts. So you never know what's going to happen. Keep him in around the campfire. Hey, Jennifer.
Well, he always talks Herbalife all the time. So, he's definitely hooked, even if he spasmodic. He believes in the product.
That's right. So everyone fits in no matter what. And you know what? They can't argue with the results. And something that really hit home at the kickoff was looking at the 4 people that were there that were in their 70s that looked amazing. Like there's you, Jennifer, Jan, Irene, and Con, you know, that's that healthy aging, you know, that we're living longer, but we want to live better. So how amazing we've been on the products all that time, and how, you know, that was really inspirational. I think there was a couple of people said, oh, I've got someone in that age group and I want to help them be, and they could see the results that you have achieved. So thank you.
Can I add to that, Shelley?
Yep.
Like the Irene, as another female, I relate to looking Irene. She's got muscles on her muscles, and she doesn't actually go to a fit club, but from using the products, and she's fanatical, you know, this is what you notice when you're getting older, you know, retaining, you know, your muscle form and things like that. But, you know, she's got great muscles in her arms and basically just gardening.
Yes, so yes, having lean muscle. Having that good quality protein builds lean muscle even without exercise. I know Julie Chalmers was another one that said that she doesn't actually go to the gym or anything, but she's actually got really good definition just from being on the nutrition. So that's, yeah, a really powerful result really on healthy aging as well, because most people as they get older, their muscle goes down, their body fat goes up, their bones get brittler, and who was saying they had the bone density? Was that you?
Yes, I have one done. The doctor was extremely pleased.
Yeah. So how many people out there are looking for results like that? And we've got an aging population, so it's probably one of our biggest markets. And even the baby boomers actually have one of the biggest amount of, you know, expendable income to spend on that. And they're spending it somewhere. They may as well go somewhere it's going to get results, which is from us, and they'll get the care and the follow-up as well. So it's definitely something to think about. So we're going to get on with our recruiting. And I wanted to, because we've gone through the marketing plan and we'd also been through a little bit of customer care and follow-up, I really wanted to have a recruiting focus this week, because I think it kind of complements and follows up on now why we should be exposing people to all the different options on the marketing plan and showing them what's available. Okay, it's really important. But if you don't have anyone to speak to, who are you going to talk to about it? So we're going to actually go through why you should recruit. So I know you come up with a really good reason of why to recruit. Did you want to share that? So this is Ross's reason why you should recruit.
Why we should recruit is basically our mission is bigger than us, and we can't do it on our own. And we need everybody's help to help us find as many people as we possibly can, because physically on our own, we can't achieve what needs to be achieved. We can't achieve Mark Hughes' vision on our own. So our mission is way bigger than what just any single one of us. Absolutely.
Cool. So I thought that was the real heart reason why to recruit, because my reason would be is because you can't access a lot of the areas of income if you don't recruit and duplicate yourself in other people. So if you want to open up the marketing plan, you have to recruit. So Jan, did you want to come up with a reason why you should recruit?
Absolutely, because we can help a lot of people with the products, obviously, and change their life, but also by sponsoring somebody into the business and helping them sort of understand the business opportunity, it can change their life financially as well, because there are a lot of people out there who do struggle. And it's not like making, you know, mega millions or anything like that. It's adding that extra $100, $200, $300 a week on a part-time basis that makes a major, major difference. So if you can show somebody how to do that on a regular basis, it can change their life and their family's life and make them much happier and less stress.
Excellent. So that's another great reason to recruit. What about you, Jennifer? What would you say that, is another reason why people should recruit?
You know, when I was thinking about this earlier, I came back to the very reason, or why did we join Herbalife? Sometimes as a customer, but for those who joined because they wanted an income, then, you know, that's basically starting to understand the business. If you go back to people and say, or even look at yourself, why did I actually join? What was my goal? What was my reason? You know, maybe the reasons change now in 10 years or 20 years, etc. But for whoever joined, you know, their reason was money for school, you know, money for, you know, to go back to see the relatives overseas, money for the mortgage, you know, money for their future, something for, you know, their age retirement. So, you know, you've got to look to your own business. And I was thinking of that Robert Kiyosaki, very small video that's out. It's only about 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, Robert Kiyosaki, who's the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he does this great small training on being a sole trader and the perils of that you get into a business, you might be a hairdresser, a plumber, you don't get to have your holidays as easily because there's no one to look after your business. So it's all about you running around like crazy to do it. You know, working for a boss, doing all the work 9 to 5, and you never get a chance to share in the profits, But you get into direct sales or multi-level marketing, you're working as a team. So, if you do actually want to go on a holiday, you've got so much team and family around you in terms of Herbalife family. Somebody's going to help look after your distributors. Somebody's going to be there that, you've got someone new to work along with you. And then the company's sending out the product. They can just order it online and send it, And so the company is supplying us the money, they're supplying us the product, and we work in this great team effort. And so that is helping you towards your goal. And then on top of that, you've got hundreds and thousands of distributors, who are willing to share their story to build your business, and you're willing to share your story to build theirs. So the more you recruit around your own team, apart from the business plan and the profit sharing and the wholesale and the royalties, you need the people, which is part of your financial wall of security for the future.
Well, that's excellent. And I'm glad you mentioned royalties, because again, you want to earn royalties, you're going to have to recruit. So it's, there's lots of reasons. So, they're all great reasons of why we should recruit. And so I guess the next part to that is, how do you recruit? So how do you find someone to talk to? And there's lots and lots of different ways. So we obviously had the kickoff, and a few things that I did to get people to the kickoff. One was I promoted it at every Fit Club session. So every opportunity I was with, there was people that were coming into our support system and community. I would mention the kickoff. Obviously, I posted it on my timeline and on the groups, and I tagged people. I sent it out privately as a personal message and as an invitation. I texted people. I called them. I had flyers, handed out some flyers, and I also did an event on Facebook as well, which I probably didn't do quite as effectively, but it was just the layering effect. And all of those sort of things are designed to, get to other people's center of influences as well. So once someone says they're going to an event, during that will come up on Facebook, and then their friends will see it. They can invite their friends as well. So I think that kind of using social media is very simple, and it's very effective. It's time effective, and it's cost effective because it's free, majority, unless you're paying for a sponsored post. So they were the sort of things I did. So we got 4 people to the kickoff. So I had someone that came off a flyer that came in for a body scan, and then he got started on the sports nutrition, and then I pitched him on the business, and he signed up, and he's been to an STS, and he's coming to the summit. And then a VIP member who's second line VIP. So she has got great results. She's kind of been a little bit up and down, but she really loves the whole concept of Herbalife. She loves being branded. She loves wearing a button, and you can tell she's really keen. So she just needs a bit of mentoring and nurturing, and she'll start to blossom. And she's coming to the summit as well, which is really great. And she came and helped out early. The other one's been a VIP for a while, but she's got a big heart. She's a real contributor. And I know she had dinner with us on the Friday night, and I can see that she really wants this. And the more that she's exposed to it, the more that she's getting hungrier for it. So she's coming to the summit too. And the other person was a Fit Club member that's been through the STEPS program, where they get people back into society. And she's really keen on giving up smoking and improving her health. So she loves the product information, and she wants to bring her husband in for a body scan, so we can have a bit of a chat. And so she's coming in this week for us to catch up with her as well. And she's going to get started on nutrition. And I talked to her about the business too. So that was really great. Out of those 4 people, I thought we got an excellent result. And because we plugged them into that event, we let the event do the work for us, which is really great. So yes, I'm excited to see what's going to happen from those. So Jennifer, I know that's something you're always really strong on how to recruit, is going back to old people or going through who do you know. Like, I know even when you were talking about Maryborough, that you had people and you invited them. So can you maybe share what you do?
Yeah, look, I think, one of the important things is asking people all the time, any event you've got, who do you know? Say to your neighbours, you've got to be making conversation wherever you go. So you've got to be talking to your neighbours, and everything you're saying to your neighbours, they're saying, what are you doing? Where are you going? They know you're off somewhere. You're always saying, oh, I'm off to this event, I'm off that event. Incidentally, do you know anybody in that area? I'm seeing someone tomorrow night that's from Mauritius, but her family come from Maryborough. So I thought to email to her in case. But, when you were talking, I was thinking the way I do a lot of talking now is literally talking, right? Everyone knows I can talk. But, there's flyers, there's ads, etc. But the best thing you can do is talk to people. And so I have my own little way. So I use being 72. I've got the whole spiel that comes. So I go to the shops today with Sam, who's 15 and 8 months, and everybody knows he's a giant boy of 6'4", and he's a giant boy in every way. You know, he's the talking point. So we go to the boy shop because he had to get clothes, and he's always got to get special clothes because he's a monster, you know. And so they always start talking to me. Oh, how come Grandma's, you know, doing the work and stuff like that? And I say, yeah, Grandma, and I've just turned 72. I don't know if I could do this much longer. I make it into a story. And then they say, well, you're looking okay. And I say, yeah, well, I have to because I travel a lot. Haha. What do you do? Well, I'm in Herbalife and I travel a lot. I do trainings, etc. Just got back from America. So I turn my life into the story so that next time I go back, it's there knowing me, and I'm then me, the lady comes with a giant boy. So if you've got a giant kid or a little kid or something you can use, you know, it's finding a way to talk to people all the time. And you've just got to get out there and keep talking so people know you and know your face. And, you know, there's some way, whatever it is for you. It might be the group you're in, you play tennis, you know, or, you know, specifically, you know, whatever you do, you're helping at the local hospital or whatever, you know, you start sieving that into your story when people talk to you, because every day a neighbour or someone says, hi, how are you? You go in the shop and you go to Woolworths and you buy something, they say, how's your day? So take that opportunity to make some conversation so that they know you next time. It might be 4 months down the track or whatever, when you finally feel more confident still, you know, give them that flyer or invite them to something. But you set up a relationship first. And every day you have the opportunity, because people say, hi, how are you, and what are you doing, and where are you going, and how's your day? It's trivial to them. They don't expect you to say much, but if you start talking and saying it afterwards, they've invited you to tell the story.
That's awesome, Jennifer. I want to be doing that when I'm 72. In fact, that was my metabolic age before I lost my weight. 32 now, but anyway. So that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing, Jennifer. And Jan, I know that you have a certain way, like, you know, of when you're talking to someone on some of the questions that you should ask them. Would you be able to share that?
Yeah, look, obviously, you know, when you first get started, it's always sort of a bit difficult sort of remembering what to say and how to say it and all that sort of thing, you know, because we're all basically shy. Some people a bit more than others. But, and, you know, it's exactly like Jennifer was saying, you know, we do need to learn how to talk to people. So it's swinging conversations around to different things. And also, I think it's very important to listen to what people are saying, because depending on what they're saying to us, we'll then incorporate what we say to them. So always pay attention and, you know, listen. But I've got a sheet that I think I'll pass it on to you, Shelley, as well. Start conversations. And if you have in the back of your mind the word form, F-O-R-M, and what it stands for is F is for family. So when you sort of start conversations by asking questions of people, they're always quite, you know, comfortable talking back to you. So F is for family, so ask about their family, and that sort of starts the conversation. It helps relax people. The next one is O for occupation. So ask them about, you know, what do they work at, you know, that sort of thing. You know, do they work part-time? Do they have a career? You know, whatever comes into the conversation about occupation. The R is for recreation. Do they play sport? You know, what sort of sport do they play? So extend that sort of section, because in the back of your mind, you know, we've got some great sports products. You might be able to talk to them about that. So the R is for recreation. M is for message or money. Now, depending how the conversation has gone, you use the message. Might lead into just the facts of the company because it's more product orientated that you've spoken to them about, or M is for money because they might be interested in earning some extra income. So always remember the word form. It helped me heaps when I first got started. And you know, by remembering that, it helps you sort of have that conversation with people. It's not always easy when you're new sort of getting started. Even to today, I still use the word form, because it helps you ask the questions of people. and it helps you sort of feel a bit more confident more than anything. And I think that comes through when you're talking to people.
Well, thank
Jen,
you. Because
could you move
we
forward,
used
please?
that today. Talk to someone actually, so I found that really effective. So Jan, I know you said on Saturday something really important about having an office or somewhere to go to, and you were really shy. So how did you start recruiting at the beginning, being so shy, but having those meetings to plug people into? What did you do to recruit?
Okay, what I did to recruit. Basically, it was all very, very simple, was flyers and ads and talking to people, leaving flyers, if we went and had a cup of coffee or a meal anywhere or lunch or whatever, not that we did that very often, but when we did, always leave a flyer underneath the sugar bowl. Leave a tidy paper trail, not papers everywhere, but a tidy paper trail. And, if we're recruiting, use the recruiting flyer. Sometimes the flyer that you get from Herbalife, the coloured brochure with the business opportunity, that's always good to have with you as well. But also have some, printed flyers that you do for yourself, earning extra income or hey mum, whatever the flyer is that you're using. Have a little bit of a combination. Get a bit of a pencil case, a wide pencil case or like an envelope or something. Keep your flyers in there so you're prepared. Have it in your handbag or a man bag or in your back pocket, whatever it is for a fella. But always have something on you. It's so important with your name and phone number on. I've always liked to give somebody my information first before I ask them for information, because I think it makes that person feel a bit more comfortable, and then they've got not so much of a hesitation giving you their name and phone number. But flyers have always worked. Mike always used to do the flyers for me. Thank goodness. I was very grateful. And they did work. These days, I think you might have to do a lot more of them to get responses, but they still work. They really, really do for both retail and recruiting. And I think more so with recruiting these days, because a lot of people are hurting out there. So get the recruiting flyers out there, and a simple ad. These days I know ads are a bit more restrictive, so you've got to talk to the newspaper in your local area, find out what you are allowed to sort of put, whether it's in business opportunities or self-employment. They're the only two. You never put it anywhere else, either of those. And I know that I don't think you can put how much you can earn, like numbers or anything, but you can sort of hedge around it. And they do work. And also have a specific script. Well, you might be talking about scripts a bit later on. I've always worked from a script. When I first got started, I was terrified of a telephone. And Gary used to make me have a mirror on the desk, and the phone would ring from my ad, and I'd have to let it ring, I think, 4 times before I picked up the receiver. He made me look in the mirror, smile, and stand up before I could answer that telephone. And I used to be petrified. But I tell you what, I learnt, because I really wanted to do this opportunity. So if you want something badly enough, you will get over your fears. And I did get over the fear of the telephone. I'm never off the phone these days. So ads and flyers definitely work, and talking to people, just like Jennifer said, you've got to make the opportunity. And for me, flyer worked really, really well. It got me to India and got me to see the Taj Mahal. So I love flyers.
And so were you a customer first, Jan?
Yes, I was a customer first, yeah.
So how did you go from being a customer to bridging into being to earning extra income? And
took a while. I mean, I fell in love with the products. It was Mike who brought home the products to me. Had great results on them, obviously, not typical, but I had, no more migraines. And that was that really got me. It was incredible, my results like that. And also keeping my weight under control. So Jennifer and Gary talked to me about, getting a bigger order, which made sense to me. So I did. I think I got 1,000 volume point order. Because then I had Michael on the products, I had my daughter on the products, and eventually Mike got on the products. He was very hard to get on the products initially, but ended up loving the products. So after I did that, Gary had gone to Perth, and Jennifer had opened the centre in Willoughby, and she kept ringing me up saying, Jane, you've had great results, with your migraines and weight control and things like that. Why don't you come and see our new office? I said, oh, yeah, one day. And she rang me up about 5 times before I eventually went in. But once I did go to the office and I met some other people there, it really opened a door for me. And I saw how, like, hearing the other people's stories, it encouraged me, even though I wasn't doing the business at that point of time either. But by, going back into the office, that's when Jennifer said, look, if I show you how to sort of look after the customers, you can keep your profit, and that helps pay for your future products. So it was a gradual thing. It was very different in those days. And initially when I did start doing the business, it was just like a hobby. So don't do it like a hobby. Do it as serious, in the beginning. But it was something I had to go through because of where I came from. I was very, very shy. I wouldn't talk to people, all that sort of thing. And I didn't need the opportunity. Mike had an excellent, excellent job. But it was something I needed to do, just something for me to do. And also once I saw the passion about everybody with their results and my passion, I saw that it was filled a need for me because I always liked helping people. So it was like a door open. That was really exciting after a while.
So obviously Jennifer being quite persistent is one of the keys. Don't
Absolutely.
stop finding people.
Very persistent.
And the other one was, you said it as well, Jennifer, there on Saturday. You said, if I could show you a way, and it's such a great set of words, if I could show you a way to do this or do that or whatever it might be that person is wanting, what a great set of words to use.
It is.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, because I heard you say it a few times, so obviously you said it to Jan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it is a great, set of words, as you say, because, if you want to recruit, you've got to find out what that person needs to make money for. So it's no use, telling them, hey, you can make X amount of money. The main thing is, they usually have a purpose, what they need. It's a mortgage, or the new car, or their kids going to school, want to go to a private school, or visit the rallies back home, or young people going backpacking. So the next question is, if I could show you a way, that you could make that money, how much money would you need for your car payment? $600 a month? If I could show you a way to do that, so, that's, it's such a great question. And then you lead into, you're showing them a marketing plan or saying, you're coming with me on Saturday to the STS and I'm coming to pick you up. Not a matter of will you come, but you are coming because you want to earn this money, So people want to hear your strengths and know that you know what you're doing, or the person making money, and you can teach them how to make money.
Definitely. And I think that's something the key, like saying those set of words, but then having something to invite them into. So if you're not currently running a Herbalife opportunity meeting, you should just start doing one, because you need to invite them into some sort of it. Just start doing one a week and then you can increase it, okay? So you need to be able to invite people into something. Now, something Jennifer has been saying a few times is obviously that with Ava on closing down in Australia, that she said it's a great opportunity. And it's definitely on my list of our list to follow up on some of these in our local area, because I've got a few Avon distributors that I know. But I know that Coral and Michael really jumped on this, and also they were one of the top recruiters in Australia in December. So I would love Coral and Michael just to share how you're doing your recruiting and also what you're doing with that Avon opportunity, because obviously they're very loyal distributors. That's what Jennifer said. So they're great qualities that would do really well in Herbalife as well. So did you just want to share what you have been doing?
Yes, hi.
Hello.
Sorry, our picture's not up, but we can't understand why. We have the distributor of Avon manager on board with Herbalife, and she let me know that Avon was closing down, and we went to a meeting. They're absolutely all devastated and looking for other opportunities. So therefore we've gone and having a table on the 17th, with thanks to Jan and Jennifer for coming along to help out there. And the way we've been recruiting is use, wear and talk. Especially the button on 25 kilos lost has done it for us.
So Coral, how did you find her? Like, is she someone you already knew, or like how did that happen? So just so I know.
Yeah, I actually was under Janine for a little while with Avon.
Yep.
When I wasn't doing Herbalife.
Yep.
And so I knew her through that. And then I recruited her to the Herbalife products. And then when she's been a manager, she could not cross lines.
Yep.
But when she found out they were closing down, then she could come to me and said, "Hey, will you put up a table?"
Cool. So I think that's fantastic. And Jennifer, if you can just add, because there was a few things you said that if someone is thinking about approaching someone in Avon, and it's not like we're going to jump all over them or anything, but doing it in a respectful way. You've kind of had a set of words and a way of going about it. Jennifer, did you want to share that?
Well, firstly, last week we had a call with our corporate, and Rod Taylor, the manager, was telling us that Avon had approached by the direct sales organisation. They approached Herbalife and probably Amway and other companies, and said they were very upset, because so many of their distributors were ringing them and saying they were, really devastated. They've got mortgages, they've been in the business for years, and suddenly, this is the business they devoted their lives to. They loved Avon, and people have loved Avon over all these years. And so the distributors are very upset. So they asked Herbalife if they will do basically a webinar, HOM. I think it's going to be on the 24th of this month. And they will get all their distributors to listen in. And I guess then if they're interested, they will phone Herbalife, and Herbalife will put it out like leads. So I'd said at that time, well, we've already got, people interested. So, I don't want my person, to lose all the work she's done. And Herbalife said, no, that's fine. You can go out, and look for these people too. But they were talking about great ways to approach the people, because Avon people are like Herbalife. They are so loyal, to approach them on that way of, we're so lucky to have the chance to get Avon people, because, your reputation as being so loyal and being such good distributors. So we've been really grateful, honoured, to have you in our team. So, I think that's a good way if you talk to people, but I'd certainly be asking all your friends, who do you know that sells Avon? Do you know anyone that sells Avon? Ask every shop you go in. Do you know any Avon people? I'm looking for an Avon person. I know Ross said that, he would ring the company. And so possibly you ring the company and they might get fobbed off because they've got so many people ringing in. Who knows? I don't know about that. But I do know that whatever you do, you get in there, because there's thousands of distributors that are going to be headhunted by Amway and other companies, and naturally the person that they're going to go for whatever company appeals to them. So with what Coral's doing, they've hired a venue, and the team leader, she's joined up with Coral, but her other people are not sure, so they're going to have some Amway people, us Herbalife people, some other people to put
Jennifer,
their information.
Yeah, Amway's pulled out.
Oh, have they? Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's what I remember you telling me that. So that's great. Amway's gone. So really, the people out there floating around, just go find them and just have to ask people. I'll go to the coffee shops and say, do you know any? And all the ladies that sell in shops and say, do you know anyone that sells, Avon? Do you know where I can get some Avon? People will be saying, oh, yeah, look, I do know a lady, I do have a phone number. It's all a matter of talking and then seeing what you can do with those people. But here's a great opportunity of people looking for an opportunity instead of us necessarily looking for them.
Cool. So I think a great thing to do is on your checklist for this week, your action steps is to go and find some in your local area to talk to. And Coral and Michael, congratulations. We can't wait to hear the results from this, like what's happening. We're really interested, and congratulations on being in the top recruiters for Australia in December as well. It's a really great achievement. I did put the details on Challenge Yourself Daily. You might just need to scroll through to find it, but it's definitely on there. So if you can't find it, let me know and I'll tag you on it. So that's really cool. So congratulations, guys.
I would like to say that we went to an Avon district last meeting, and they are all devastated. So they are really looking for some other options because that was their income for a lot of people.
Okay, well, and that's something to keep in mind, everyone. There's people that are looking for an opportunity, so go on, at least let them know, give them the first right of refusal, don't make a decision for them. So thank you, Coral, that's a really great point. So just to finish off with some of the different ways to recruit, I know that Ross's strength is walk and talk, so we actually went out and did it together, which I kind of thought was good because it's a bit like a comedy act.
No.
We go out because we kind of get this banter going and it's fun, and then everyone starts laughing or smiling and they're a little bit more receptive to it. So we got a really good result just from going out into Mary Street. So did you want to share what happened?
Yeah, we basically just went to every shop we could go into in Mary Street last week, looking obviously to go to the kickoff, and virtually I found that the only way I've really recruited probably in the last 6 or so months is just literally talking to people, keep going back, keep going and talking to people. And every person I have recruited is through a conversation. I haven't actually got anybody through a flyer virtually. It's through a conversation. We might have had a flyer in our hand, but it was through a conversation. It wasn't in a letterbox or anything. And the lady we spoke to today came from last week. So last week we walked into a beautician's, we were asking some questions, and we said, we've got a kickoff going on. Oh, I can't go on a Saturday or work. Oh, okay, not a problem. Would you like us to come back and see you? And that's as simple as it was. And she blocked out an hour of her business time today because she couldn't leave the shop because she had to answer phones and so forth. And we went virtually, we took the meeting to her today and spent an hour with her. And from that, she's very, very interested. And she's now going to come to our HOM on Thursday evening so that we can go through it in more detail and the process from there. So virtually, not say we've got her, but you could just basically say we're at that 90% point of pretty clear of getting her the information. And that's the way I found that's the easiest way to recruit. You get to know the person straight away. You know straight away face to face if they're seriously interested in it or not. You can gauge their reaction, and you know whether you can continue to talk or you obtain their information. You can go back to them at a later day. And the way we were doing it last week was really good because we were just relaxed, having a conversation, going back and forwards, and just And when one didn't pick something up, the other one did. So it made it really good when you could go as a team that way, which you can't always do. But we both were able to pick up different things from each other and go, hang on a minute, you haven't spoken about, and the other one could just easily filter that into the conversation, and then you bounced off each other that process from there. So we found it very good last week.
Yes, and I think have a bit of fun too. Don't take yourself too seriously. I think one of the ones I loved the most was when we're at Bunnings and you bought an ironing board, because I don't iron, just so you know. Don't ask me to iron anything. So we've come out to the checkout at Bunnings and you've got the ironing board, and the two ladies there, it was like almost closing time, and she said, I was thinking one of them. I said, no, don't succumb to the pressure, don't do it. And so we got into this great conversation, and one ended up being interested in having extra energy, and the other one had been a Herbalife distributor years ago, but she hadn't got the support that she wanted. And we explained how amazing the support is now. So I just thought that it was a really great, fun conversation. So, make sure you don't take yourself too seriously as well. I mean, we're serious about what we're doing. We're deadly serious, but you want to know that we can actually have some fun in the process. So,
and like Shelley said, Bunnings is a fantastic place because guess what Bunnings staff do? They say hello to everybody. So every person you walk into in Bunnings says hello to you. So you have an opportunity in Bunnings to talk to every single staff member at some point in some way, shape or form, where in most shops you may not get that. But Bunnings, walk down an aisle, that staff member's going, hi, how are you going today? Bang. Straight away, it's conversations available there if it's right, if the time is not. If not, go back to Bunnings next week and go and buy something else. Don't have to buy very much. And Bunnings is a great place. Just go and look like you're going shopping. You don't even have to buy a single thing. It's a fantastic place to find different people, and they're looking for income most of the time as well. So
it was great actually. Can you pass that up to me? So something that Jennifer really drove home on Saturday was about learning the stories, always having stories on hand, whether it's a flip book or a chart, or just I'm good at remembering things. So I know even today when we're talking to Fiona that when she watched the little video, I just could elaborate on each of the stories of who the people were because we knew them. And that worked really well. So make sure you know the stories. And one of the most important stories is your own. So I'm going to take a photo of this and put it on Challenge Yourself Daily, but it's packaging your income story. So the things that you need to know is your name, your background, why you joined Herbalife's opportunity, and what were you doing previously. Then you've got your income facts. Your first day income, income in the last 30 days, your first week income, income in the last 90 days, income last year, just so that you've got all these different types of income so you can relate to somebody. And other strong facts, if applicable: I became a success builder and made such and such in the first 10 days. I became a supervisor in the first month. I started earning from Herbalife and increased my income by 40% in the first month or in a month or whatever. I went to an international event. So Jennifer uses that one, obviously, with the travel. And important issues: income equals retail profit plus wholesale profit plus royalties and bonuses. Only talk income, never sales figures or receipts in the bank. Never say my best month was, or I don't know how much I earned. Validate the information covered at the meeting with your results. So I'm going to take a photo of that, and just so that you can learn how to package your story, because everyone's story is important and you want to package it in the most powerful way using the facts, okay? And then you can always create a new income story, okay? So it doesn't matter whether you've been in the business 30 years or 30 days, you can always generate a brand new story, okay? So Jennifer or Jan, did you want to add to that at all?
No, that's fine, Shelley.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Cool. So once you get someone started, you want to get them off to the fastest start possible. You want to have some sort of steps, and most of us have the same mentoring steps, and I am in the process. I've got a few things here in front of me that I want to start working on, so that we do have a very nice, simple, basic mentoring system to get people started. But obviously the first thing you want to know is their why and what their goals are, and we've actually got a goal sheet that asks them specific questions about that. You want to get them a product result, so get them to order enough products that they can afford, that's going to get them the best result possible, and show them how, follow them up like a client, so they learn follow-ups through the whole process. That's why customers make such good distributors, because they got followed up and they understand that, and then they're very good at follow-up themselves. So what happens, they have a strong retail base, and then they have a strong distributor base because they all understand follow-up too. So make sure you follow up your team members like their customers. Don't treat them differently. It's exactly the same process. And then you want to access their center of influence before you get them out doing flyers. Okay, make sure they speak to people they know, do a grand opening, or a shake party, something really comfortable that feels like them. You don't want them to do some formal presentation of the barbecue and beer kind of person. Get them to be themselves. You know, that's what it's got to be authentic, and it's got to be real. And it's who do you know, and there's some really great memory joggers in here. So it's got who do you know, who is your dentist, doctor, pharmacist, lawyer, minister, who delivers your paper, people you know, babysitters, pool cleaners, dry cleaners, gardener, hairdresser, pet shop, photographer, and then it goes through basically alphabetical, basically from actor, art teacher, auctioneer, engineer, hairdresser, insurance broker, judge, right through to removal van operator. So it's just memory jogger. So I'll take a photo of that as well and put it on there, because this is what Jennifer does really well, is who do you know, and then you can help your new people go through their center of influence, whether you're doing a grand opening or you're doing three-way calls or you're getting them into your center or wherever you are, so you can start talking to people they know. And I know Gary was always really big on this, getting cash in their pocket within 72 hours. He said it was such a powerful thing to be able to do in that first 3 days of their business. If you could show them and help them get an income result, their excitement level would go, and then they'd keep moving forward faster. And guess what? That's all they knew was what to do in the first 3 days, and that's what they would teach their people. And all of a sudden, it will just go a lot faster. And that's how you get those lines of 2 or 3, like Jennifer loves, going supervisor over 2 months. And that's how you accelerate your business. So make sure you don't skip the people you know in the center of influence with your new people. Don't get them doing ads and flyers straight away. Get them talking to people they know, okay, and show them the benefit of helping the people they care about. So did you want to add to that at all, Jennifer?
Yeah, when we're talking about who do you know, so often, the people you're talking about, you're talking to, they're actually going places. It's like, who do you know and where do you go? So they say, well, I go to the tennis club, or, I go to Little League football on Saturday with the grandkids, so these are areas where, you can start saying to them, well, okay, you know, when you go to, you know, afternoon tea with the ladies in the street, instead of going and buying those raisin scones, you know, you make some Herbalife protein balls. You know, you make some little Herbalife products. You literally take your shake along and say, hey, girls, I'm making these super, super shakes, da-da-da-da-da. You know, you could do that at a local barbecue. You go into your friends, you mentioned a barbecue, it might be beer and et cetera. Why not take your shake and say to the people, who doesn't want any more beer? Here it's ready for a shake, you know. And you go to someone that's got kids in the afternoon and you can say, I bought the shakes. This is going to keep the kids happy. You know, you find a way of who do you know and where do you go? So, you know, who those people, you know what action they do. And the other thing you've got to get with people is getting them to claim the urgency of what they need to, when they need to make money, you know. So, you know, they need to make money for the mortgage or the car, whatever. Well, when do you have to get this? You know, when is this mortgage due? Well, it's due, you know, in 2 weeks. Well, we've got to get started now. Okay, let's sit down. Let's make this list. Who do you know that could use the products? On the other side, who do you know that could make some money, you know, needs to make money? Now let's cross them. Is there somebody on this list that, you know, is unhealthy or needs to lose weight, you know, and the same person is over there who actually needs to earn extra money. Now let's ring them first. Let's talk to them now, you know, this evening we'll come together, you know, and we will get you making that money. You know, you need so much money in 2 weeks for the mortgage. We are going to sit down and I'm going to work with you now and get them to claim that they need that they know that they need that money in 2 weeks of the mortgage, you know, and then be willing to move with them and say, I'm coming tomorrow, work with you until we get that money for you, Mary.
That's fantastic. Such a great way to prioritise your list of people. And then the other thing is teach your guys how to do a 90-day plan. Doesn't matter if they've got 5 hours a week or they've got 50 hours a week. It does not matter. Show them how to start and finish a 90-day plan. Do it with them, and how to keep gauges. So even if it's just an exercise book, writing everything down on what they do, and teach them how to be consistent and employ themselves. I know it was a big weakness with me. I didn't know how to employ myself. I'd only ever worked for a boss. So I had to really get rid of some bad habits that I had when I first went full-time in Herbalife. I was procrastinating and doing very unproductive things, and my business was never going to grow as fast. It wasn't happening with ease. So I think one of the best things you could possibly get people to do, and most people won't do it, is personal development. Some people don't understand that in the puzzle of, you know, there's the marketing plan and then there's the products, and they're the same for everyone, and then there's the you part, and that's the only variable in the business. And if you don't work on you, nothing's going to change. So only about 3% of the population do personal development. So if you just add that component in and you grow and you change and you work on yourself, it actually makes everything else work better anyway. So make sure you don't discount and actually really show and the importance to your team and your clients on personal development, and working on their mindset is actually going to make everything easier for them. So be really, really strong on that. So to kind of, I guess, complement what we've just said on that, is that we've got our promotions coming up this month. So I just want to bring up the slide. So give me 2 seconds to find it. I hope I'm putting the right, sorry, there it is there. It shouldn't. It should keep recording. Will it? Okay. Okay, I don't know. Okay, sorry if it doesn't. Just give me 2 seconds. Oh, okay. You're right. How did you know that? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording because this is our recruiting part finished anyway, and then we're just going to go over the promotions. Okay, so hang on 2 seconds. This is the end of our recruiting section.